complaining about people and how they should be and how they shouldn't be and what's right for them and wrong for them. Meaning, stop complaining about the boss being mean. Stop complaining about your mother in law being annoying. Stop complaining about that person that is being bossy. Stop complaining about the narcissist being a narcissist. Stop complaining about mean people being mean, and on and on and on. And instead, here's what I recommend, which, by the way, is a much better for you, advantageous situation to be in, because when you make this shift, nothing and nobody will be able to control you ever again. Because if if other people trigger you, that means you are no longer in control. They are in control of you. And I don't recommend that. So here's how we're going to do this. First of all, recognize when you are being triggered. Realize what's happening when you are triggered. So the response, hey, that person shouldn't be mean to me. That person should be nice to me. That person should be generous. It's not up to you. That person, I can assure you, gets to be and is entitled to live their life according to their terms, standards, conditions, definitions. That's their right. Whether we like it or not, they get to live their life on their terms. It's not up to us to decide whether it's right or wrong, morally correct or not. It just isn't. What is, we get to take responsibility, the ability to respond to how you respond to that. That gives you control, that gives you power. And that's the difference that makes the difference. So instead of expecting, assuming, wanting, begging people to change and trying all these different things and bending and contorting yourself, no. Instead, here's what I recommend. Like I said, number one, realize, where are you being triggered? Get super, super clear. Who are the people? Who are the characters? What is it that is triggering you? Get so clear that you could write a book about it. Understand, who are the triggers? What are the triggers? How do you feel when somebody's mean to you? How do you act? How do you respond, right? And when you did your homework on point number one, then what I recommend is learn the skills on how you can respond differently. And anybody can learn these skills. And by the way, you might think, yeah, but I don't have the confidence. Well, that's a skill too. Of course you don't have the confidence. How could you possibly have the confidence if up until now you have been acting disempowered or inferior? If this person shows up posturing, if they show up like a boss, if they show up domineering, we can't blame them for that. What we can do is ask ourselves, wait a minute, when that person tried to push my buttons, when they tried to be mean and do all these things, how did I respond? Did I just roll over? Well, then, of course, that person is able to get away with that behavior. We can't blame them for that. What we can do, which again, this is what puts you into the power position. This is what puts you into the control position, is you get to ask yourself, wait a minute, how would I like to respond instead? So that I get to be in charge of my emotions, of my words, of how I want to respond, how I no longer want to be triggered by this person. Yes, that's going to take practice. It also is going to take skill. What you can call it confidence building, you can call it developing a stronger ego. Regardless, what we call it, the most important point is anybody who wants to learn this skill can learn it. And I highly recommend that, because the minute you do that, you start to live life on your terms, conditions, standards, and definitions of success. And nobody can ever push your buttons ever again. The only reason narcissists, users, abusers, liars, cheaters get away with their behavior is because people automatically very often roll over and let them, behave that way. And again, it's not for us to decide how they behave. No problem. You want to act like a jerk? You get to act like a jerk. But how I respond, that is what, right? That's what gives me power. And as you have heard the phrase, the bigger frame controls the smaller frame. You get to decide who gets to be the bigger frame in the room. If you walk into that room tiptoeing around, feeling like a coward, feeling inferior, no wonder you're going to look like prey and everybody's going to know it. Instead, imagine yourself walking into that room like a predator, like you own the room. That's going to take a different persona. That's going to take a different personality. That's going to take a different identity. That's going to take a person who's like, I'm here. I know what I want. I know what my vision is. I know what my mission is. And either you're with me or get out of my way. That takes a completely different attitude. And anybody can learn that. And this is what I teach my clients, because most people, when they first come to me, what I will hear from them is, hey, I feel stuck. I feel blocked. I wish I had more confidence. I wish, fantastic. Or I have this unwanted habit. I keep self sabotaging. I keep procrastinating, or I have this addiction, or no problem. Congratulations, because you know what? At least you've identified the problem. That warrants celebration, not shame, not blame. So let's start there. That's really good news if you have identified what the problem is. And if you already also have had the opportunity, the ability to face the reality and say, look at what other problems this is causing you and costing you. Great. And if you have done your homework on that and you can now understand what this problem is costing you, perhaps that is the thing that will motivate you to want to do something about it. Because I see so many people tiptoe through life, sitting on the sidelines. Oh, I'm not ready to be seen yet. I'm afraid to put myself out there. I'm afraid to raise my hand. I wish I could contribute in the boardroom. I wish I could lead my team more powerfully. What are you waiting for? You literally are born for leadership. You are born to dominate. You are born to, like, you're a walking, talking, breathing miracle. And you have been programmed. So whatever that limitation is, that insecurity, that shyness, that doubt, guess what? That's a program that is running the show. And that program is trying to convince you that you're not good enough. And that doesn't sit very well with me. We're not going to have that here. That is something we're going to remove as fast as humanly possible, because that is the thing that is causing you all these problems. So confidence, ladies and gentlemen, okay? This big word that is thrown around, self-confidence. That is something you create. It's a skill set. You develop it repetition by repetition. And there are plenty of opportunities for you to practice, because there are plenty of people out there that want to push your buttons, that want to put you in your place. No problem. But how you respond to those people is where you get to practice your skills, which then every repetition, and of course, this is what I teach you, how you can respond differently, so that not just logically and reasonably, but also emotionally, in your nervous system, in your body, you can show up as your best self. That's really, really important, because a lot of people think this is a logical thing. Yes, and first, yes, the logic has to be there. Hey, I want to be better. I want to be good. That's logic. That's decision making. That's the boss mind. But then, which is the conscious mind. But the subconscious mind is responsible for your behaviors and how you show up, which is the emotions and the feelings and the identity. What is underneath there? Let me just see the questions you guys have. I see a lot of comments, and thanks for being here. Um, yeah, good example. Three personalities. Which one? No, I promise you, we have multiple personalities. You don't believe that? You want to believe you have one? No problem. But guess what? I bet you, I guarantee you, when you show up, let's just say at a funeral, you already know how you need to be at a funeral, right? What kind of personality do you need to bring to the table? When you show up to the beach and it's your day off and you get to just have a good time, you might bring a different personality to that. Yes. When you're on a date and you want to show up as your different personality, you don't show up to the date with the same personality that you showed up to the funeral for. Yes. So here's my point. And you can program in the personality that you prefer to have. So for people who complain to me, who insist, hey, but I'm just shy. No, no, you're not just shy. I promise you're not shy. You are still running a program that is causing you to be shy in certain instances. The question isn't, I'm just shy. The question is that serving you? Is that how you want to be? Is that giving you the ability to show up as your best self, or is that causing you to feel inferior and small? And if you're not satisfied, we can change that. At the moment, I want to be nice to you because I feel like that's the thing to do. But I want to tell you that you look okay, no problem. That's an interesting opinion. That's all I have to say about that. And you don't need to be nice to me or not. You get to be however you want to be. That's your choice, and you're entitled to be that. You're a human being. So now, in regard to the message here, so many people spend their life feeling very limited, insecure, shy, doubtful, lack of confidence. And remember, that is not something that's written in stone. That is a program in your subconscious that is running the show, and we can change that. This is where you, as a human being, I want to remind you, you are a walking, talking, breathing miracle. And you have been programmed. So, whichever programs are not serving you and you no longer like, we can change those. And that's the best news I can give you as a hypnotherapist, because a lot of people out there right now are struggling with unwanted behaviors and addictions and habits. And, this is not working. Just to recognize that, and then think they need more willpower or self discipline. I'm here to tell you, no, that's what you have been taught. You don't need more self discipline. You just need to make a decision and understand that in order to change that, we got to work with your subconscious. But if nobody ever explains that to you, it's going to be an uphill battle. And it's going to be very difficult to change because you keep staying in that same lane when the truth, or barking up the wrong tree, so to speak, when the truth is you have been given a process that's incomplete. You can't just expect to work with the conscious if you don't also include the subconscious. They work together. They're supposed to work together. And once we do that, success becomes easy. If you have any questions about this, any comments, please feel free to. If you're into this kind of stuff, if you're into human behavior, the fascinating facts behind human behavior, feel free to like and follow for more. And of course, if you want to connect, there's a link in my bio that gives you a free consultation link, and we can connect there. Thanks for joining me today. I'll see you next time.